we lost the ending last week to last week's Married Life episode. So today we're gonna pick it up right where we left off. Because we was about to give y'all that good work last week, right?
Right.
Talking about that growth spurt. Your relationship is not off. You just going through a growth spurt, good people. Welcome back to the Married Life Podcast episode. I'm one of your hosts, FL, your life coach. This is my boo thing. What's your name, babe?
Chandra.
See, look. She getting better and better at saying it. And this is the Married Life Podcast, where we slow things down, recognize the pattern in our relationship and in ourselves, regulate our body, get a new revelation, build a rhythm around that revelation, and put it on repeat mode so we can do what, babe? So y'all can fly together, good people. And in today's episode, we just picking up from where we left off in part one, man. It was a lot of good stuff in part one. So if you ain't saw that video, relationship feel off, it's just an internal growth spurt. Go check out part one. And we gonna finish up part two, talking about those growth spurts in parenting, in money, right? Just in your life, period, right? Good people, intimacy. So you ready, babe?
Let's do it.
You ready to jump right into it?
Let's do it.
Man, listen, let's jump right into it. So listen, I want to start with saying this. Nothing is wrong with you. Nothing is wrong with your relationship, right? It's just a growth spurt, good people. You're not disconnected. You're just going through a growth spurt. You're shedding, right? And if you don't understand that growth spurt, you will mislabel your partner and your relationship.
Right.
That's what I want you to hear before we get right into it. So listen, this first part, we want to talk about parenting. Ooh, we growth spurt in that parenting, babe. You want me to go first, or
Yeah,
you want
no,
to go?
you go ahead. I'll jump in.
So listen, and this wifey can attest to this, man. I'm growing like crazy with our boys in parenting, right? Changing up some things, moving away from that I said so parenting, like we always talk about, right? To really grounding myself when I talk to them, to really being present when I talk to them, right? But I still have to be aware of that, right? Just what, a couple of weeks ago or last week when we was filming last week, man, me and our oldest kind of, because he's 14 now, testosterone flow, hormones. And so I always have to be the one to recognize when I can feel myself going there. Right. Wifey reminds me too. Right. Wifey reminds me too. So this is what I wrote down, man. I wrote down, when I don't see results that I want with our boys, I internalize it. Right. So what do I mean by that? That growth spurt that I'm feeling, because in times past, expectation. Let me say it like this. I always tell wifey, expectations ruins relationships, right? So in times past, I had these certain expectations of what I thought our boys should be at this age, and what they should be doing, and how they should be responding. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, yeah.
Right? So then when they don't do that, it's like, what? They doing this, they doing that. Nah, good people. Or I start questioning myself. Am I a good dad? Maybe I'm not doing what I need to do, right? That ain't it, right? So I get frustrated. I get irritated, right? I start feeling that internal pressure. Then I start having to realize it's just a growth spurt, because I'm seeing what I don't want to be no more. But in real time, I have to make a different decision.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Yeah.
So just talk about, for you, that's part of the growth spurt for me, that I'm growing into a higher version of myself, to be able to ground myself in the moment with our boys, right? Even though I circle back all the time, y'all hear me talk about that, I don't want to circle back no more, good people. I want to be able to ground myself enough in the moment so we can have regulated conversations. So just talk about a little bit the growth spurt for you with our boys, what you have to kind of grow through.
Right. Like, there's a lot of areas. I mean, where do you start? Especially, we homeschool.
Yes.
So homeschooling itself has its challenges. And, I do understand as a mother homeschooling, I can see where, like, the what is the word I'm looking for? Like, to get kids to sit down for 8 hours a day. Wow. And then they want to say something's wrong with the children, but it's really not. And that's where it's on me as the
Yeah.
mother to recognize they're kids. They're squirmy. They don't want to sit still. They don't want to sit in the same position for hours. And so I have to grow in that area and be like, okay, we got to learn how to do, little breaks here and there
Yeah.
so they can
Yeah.
stretch their legs or their brain. Their brain needs a break. I
Yes.
mean, we
Yes.
can sit there and do work for a solid hour, but after that hour, it's like they start getting restless and fidgety. And so I have to recognize, for myself that I have to grow in that area and be okay with them moving around and wanting to get up and stretch their legs. They can't sit there I mean, it's not
Forever.
good for the
Yeah.
kids
Right.
to sit there that long. I mean, yes, we're homeschooling and we're home, but I would like, I'm thinking, let's get it done. Let's just sit here and not move. And that's not reality. So,
No, man, that's true.
yeah.
Look, man, I love. Hey, is my mic still on? You see my green?
Yeah.
Oh, look, my bad, good people. You look, man, we didn't
Yeah,
have this happen
got
before.
scared.
Yeah, man, we didn't have this happen. But no, like what she's saying is so true. And I have to grow. Another area I have to grow in with the boys is at nighttime.
Oh, yeah.
Because like she talking about, I don't know, this might just be us. Our boys turn up at nighttime.
Boy,
I'll be like, what the?
They get on a
Man,
whole
sit your
other
tail
level.
down.
Mm-hmm.
During the day, they chill,
Right.
they chilling. Soon as we say it's nighttime,
They want to play.
it's bedtime, they want to play, they want to get. So I have to learn, and I had to learn growing into that growth spurt that I had to change up how I approach that situation. Right? They're kids. Like wifey said, they're
Right.
kids. So like wifey said something to me one time. She was like, babe, either you change or you just keep frustrating yourself because they're going to keep doing what they do.
Right.
They're kids.
Yeah.
That's what they do.
And I think a lot of times as parents, our expectations of
There it is.
children
There it
are
is.
like they're kids.
Yes.
We can't even live up to our own expectations, but we want our kids to live up to our expectations.
Ooh, say that again, babe. Say that
I said
again.
we can't even live up to our own expectations sometimes, and that we expect the kids to live up to our expectations.
Come on, good people. That's why I said expectation versus reality.
Right.
What's really real in reality, and what's your expectation? Right. That's a growth spurt.
Right.
That's a gap. You expect this, but reality is this. Right. That's a gap, good people.
Right.
So you got to learn how to navigate that gap. So I wrote this down before we go to the next part. Growth will expose where you still tie your worth to the outcome. Oh, want me to say that real slow?
Yeah. Well, break it down though.
Listen,
what is your
growth will expose where you still tie your self-worth to an outcome. So in other words, like I just told you about me with the boys, right? My self-worth as a parent was still tied into my expectation on what I expected them to do.
If they mind.
If they
act the way we think they
yes,
should be acting.
Yes. So every time they didn't mind when I said, go do it right then. Every time they said something back, I thought that was disrespectful, right? It didn't meet my expectation, right? So me growing from that exposed where I had my identity attached to. That has nothing to do with me being a good father because they don't listen in the moment. Right. And they ain't got nothing to do with nothing, good people. No. But you see what I'm saying? Yeah. That's what I mean by that, babe. Yeah. That's what I mean. Growth will expose where your identity is tied to. Yeah. And if it's not tied to the right thing, you're going to feel that shit, good people. It ain't going to feel good because your identity exposed to something that you should have let go of, the expectation. Right. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. Okay. So listen, man, let's get to this next part, man. So how you really handle that through the regulation. Y'all hear us talk about recognizing the 5R framework, recognize, regulate, get a new revelation, yes. Build a new rhythm around that revelation, put it on repeat mode. So I wrote down this for me. I had to start catching myself, right? Had to stop reacting and started responding, right? Sometimes I would just pull back and I would just isolate myself for a short period until I regulated myself, and then I circle back. Yeah. So y'all hear me talk about that circle back all the time. So that's kind of how I've learned to regulate myself, even with the boys, even with wifey, right? With anything, when we're having money conversations, if I can feel my nervous system getting activated, Man, I'll pull up out that thing in a minute. Oh, you tired,
Sorry.
babe?
I don't know where that came from.
But listen though, this is what I want you to hear. That don't always feel good.
No.
Grow, it don't always feel, but it's necessary. Think about the snake that's shedding, right? That's a tight process. That's an uncomfortable process, but it's a necessary process. And you can always tell the size of the snake by what it's shedding.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So when I have to pull away, I have to isolate myself. I have to regulate myself. Man, that shit don't feel good people. Growth do not feel good. Go check out Dr. Ford's, me and Dr. Ford's video we did yesterday. Soul True Sunday, man, we went live. He breaks this down from a clinical standpoint that anytime we're growing, it's gonna feel uncomfortable because your brain and your nervous system likes familiarity and safety.
Sure does.
It will rather choose something that's familiar, right? That's familiar and safe, right? Even though it's not good for you, than to choose something that's unfamiliar and that's the best thing for you.
Wow. That's so true.
So go ahead, babe.
I mean,
jump
just,
into how you
life,
regulate.
you know, just in general, you know, when you feel like, oh, okay, well, I would rather be like this and not have to worry about going through a process.
Yeah.
I want to stay in this same position and not grow and expand to get to a better outcome because this is just so familiar and I'm so comfortable right here. I don't want to be uncomfortable.
Yeah.
A lot of times we choose not being uncomfortable to stay where we're at and don't have to go through that experience.
No, that's real talk. That's real talk. So talk about just tell them some of the things that you do to regulate yourself. You know, like I said, I isolate sometimes. You know that I pull back, and I know sometimes you tell me you just can't have that conversation. I guess that's a regulated thing for you too.
Yeah,
as well.
definitely. Like if you know, I can tell when I don't need to be having a conversation because I'm not regulated. I'm probably not going to say the right things. It could come off totally wrong.
What?
Can you believe that? But, you know, for me, I do a lot of, I listen to stuff. I mean, sometimes I might have to go play something, you know, go talk to myself, you know, work myself through that feeling so I can get to a better place.
No, man, I feel that. And
get regulated.
I feel that. And we help each other.
Oh, yeah.
Because at nighttime, when I can kind of because I'll be ready to wind down at nighttime with people, and our boys be turning up with the dog. And I'm like, what?
Everybody turn up
man,
at night.
it's 8:45 at night.
We've had a long day. We're ready to go to bed, and they ready to play.
But wifey be helping me. Babe, she can see that little smoke coming from and she be like, babe, she just put, babe, relax. She start touching my shoulders. And I'm like, babe, you know. But yeah, so
like, not today.
I'm like, no, not today. I'm getting on that ass today. But listen, man, we help each other. Yeah. We help each other, man. So before we get to this next part, regulation is what separates reaction, right? Right? I wrote this down. Regulation is what separates reaction from leadership. So what do I mean by that, right? Sometimes you can be a reactive leader, and that doesn't bode too well because you're reacting to everything, right? But a regulated leader, right? That means they're processing things correctly, right? That means they're internalizing things the right way. They're thinking about it before they speak, right? So listen, regulation is what separates reactive leaders from regulated leaders, right? It's just slowing yourself down, good people. Everything is about slowing yourself down.
And I think in today's society, we all feel sped up.
Yes.
Like, excuse me, we feel like we can't, like we got to get it done, gotta go, can't stop, gotta go. I mean, and we don't take the time to regulate ourselves. And so we're already in that extreme get it done action mode where we have to take a step back and be like, okay, let me slow this down because that's going to come out in other areas. It's going to come out to your spouse. It's going to come out to your kids. It's going to come out how you talk to yourself. You know, I got to go faster. I can't get enough done. I don't have enough time in the day. And I can say that because I say it to myself because I have to regulate. Okay, Chandra, yes, you have a lot to do,
Yeah.
but I got to slow it down so I can regulate myself to be okay with going through that process.
That's it, man. That's it. Listen, I always say this, good people. Life is to be lived, not rushed through.
Right.
Most people, like Wifey said, we rush through, and I'm guilty,
Rush.
right? Urgency trauma. Y'all heard me talk about this. But the whole point is slowing yourself down so you can make a conscious decision on how you want to interact with everything that's happening on the outside of you.
Right.
Because you are in complete control of your life,
Yes.
starting with you.
Yes.
But you got to understand that, right? And slow yourself down. So, yeah. So now this next part, man, we want to talk about is like we talked about earlier, how it shows up in relationships, right? So I wrote this down. If I don't communicate how I'm feeling, right, just right out the gate, like she said, it spills over. Not just in our relationship, it spills over when I'm dealing with the dog. It spills over when I'm dealing with the boys, in work,
Right.
Now I wrote this down. Now she feeling the way, right? And now I'm feeling the way. Now we both like this.
Right.
You see, though, this is how growth spurts show up in relationships, good
Yes.
people. I also wrote this down, that tension with no clear cause. I'm gonna talk about that in real. Emotional distance. Start. Cause she tripping, now I'm tripping. She acting like this, so I'm
Right.
emotional unnecessary friction. You know why? Because it's a growth spurt.
Yeah.
And if you don't identify that, you will go through all those things. So tension with no clear cause. That's just like you just don't know what's wrong.
Right.
You don't have language for it. You just feeling off of it.
Right.
But if you don't internalize that, right? I said that in the last Soul Truth, right? I mean, last Married Life that we did, right? Right. That if you don't communicate that growth spurt to your partner, it creates emotional distance. That's what I'm talking about. So just talk about a little bit for you in our relationship, like what I just said. Trying to find a question I wrote down here. I'm a note taker.
Right.
So just talk about for you a little bit how that shows up in our relationship. Like I just touched on with me, but just kind of how it shows up for you when you're going through something personal.
I probably get moody. Like I don't want to be bothered. I get moody. I unfortunately take it out on people because I haven't regulated myself. I've got to. I haven't stepped into that moment to where like, because sometimes it could just happen so fast. It's just, I don't know, and that's probably also part of perimenopause, where I'm going through something, but it's just exasperated by how I'm already feeling, and so I haven't taken the time to regulate. So, but when I do take that time, it can totally change how I feel, how I'm thinking, how I see the world, how I see you, how I see the kids. I mean, just taking that time to whatever it is for the people watching, but for me it is being quiet. I have to like go through my thought process. Why am I feeling this way? Has something happened? That's just how I personally.
No, man, that's real, babe. That's real. You got to separate the truth from your story. Ooh, look, I ain't even got time to even go into that, good people, because the brain makes up a story so you can feel safe.
Yeah.
Right? So you got to separate the truth, what's factual, what's reality, from the story you keep telling yourself.
Right.
See, listen, unspoken growth turns into unnecessary conflict. You got to be able to verbalize that growth spurt to your partner, or else y'all fighting. Thinking y'all fighting over the dishes, and no, that ain't even what y'all fighting over.
Right.
You just can't internalize what's happening to you, so you taking it out on everything around you, because your brain needs a story to say that's the reason. Your brain needs something to say that's the reason, because it don't like uncertainty.
Yeah.
Man, listen, I can stay on that all day long, babe. All right, so listen, babe. And this is real quick. This is why I make my products, good people. All of my products help you walk through this process, because where you want to be and where you are, it's always going to be a gap. So my products help you close that gap.
Right.
Use It or Lose It 6-part audio series plus workbook. That's about getting your gift off the sideline into the game and living on you. Like you see us doing. The 21-day money reset regulation is going to help you regulate your nervous system to build that capacity for the money that you know you deserve. Click that link. Click that link. Okay, so listen, babe. Tell the people, man, a little bit how we navigated all this, right? Like the real fix. Just how to navigate it real quick. You know,
like, you
just
mean like how we communicate with each other.
Yeah. Just kind of like how we had to learn to navigate through the growth spurt when we start feeling that. So like for me, you know, I had to start telling her in the moment, not after I'm feeling that way and then coming back in the moment. Hey, babe, I'm going through something right now. I feel a little bit. Give me a little minute. Then we could have a conversation about it or whatever. Another thing is I didn't hide it no more. In times past, I used to try to hide that because as the man, I didn't want her to feel what I was feeling and all that. Listen, we partners, good people. I'm going to dump it all on her whenever I get regulated enough to do that. Because like I said, I don't necessarily want to dump on her, but I want to share with her and bring her into my world, right? So I don't want to dump. I just want to share, but I got to do that from a regulated space.
And I think it's just I think it should be the same basically for both of us. We have to have that communication and be open and be like, okay, today's the day where this is happening in my mind and this is going on and I'm trying to, you know, not trying to take it out on anybody, but you know, this is what's happening and I'm trying to get myself in that space where I'm not being affected by it like that. I'm regulated. I can have a conversation without feeling anxiety, without feeling frustration. That for me, that's just, you know, I think it's like a two-way street.
No, it is. Man, I like that. This right here, I put down, you got to show the partnership. Just like she said, it's a two-way street, right? You know, just walking each other down. This is what I put down. Walking each other down. Like she just said, not reacting emotionally, understanding the root cause. Your partner in your relationship is not the problem, good people. It's not. I'm telling you, 27 years in right here, it's not the problem. Even though we think they the problem. Because there's been a lot of time. Hold on. Let me turn this way so she don't hear me. She can't hear me though, so don't tell her. Yeah. So listen, you don't fix tension, good people. You got to understand it. Okay. Listen. So relationship rhythm, babe. So just talk about the relationship rhythm a little bit, and then we're gonna give them the steps, and then we out of there. So we just want to talk about the new relationship rhythm, the new growth spurt, right? You know, we in a new rhythm, right? Time together looks different. So just kind of talk about that new rhythm that we had to kind of formulate and grow into, but it didn't feel good in the beginning. Like the way we interact on date night now, socially, sex life shifting, all that. Just kind of talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, all of it's shifted. I mean, I think it shifts as we age, it shifts as our children age. And so it's a revolving door almost. You've kind of got to evaluate where you are. Where are you at right now? What's going on in your life? What do I want now? Like, do I need something different? So it goes back to the communication. You know, if you're internalizing first what's going on, then you can communicate to your spouse, hey, you know, today maybe I don't have time to sit down and do this with you today. You know, so we got to communicate. You know, by the time we get in bed, we are exhausted. We're just ready to go to bed. I mean, so life just happens, it changes, and we have to be able to recognize that and communicate that with our partner, because he don't have the same day I have. I don't have the same day he has. So what he has going on in his brain and what he's working through, I'm not going through that. So it's that communication and establishing, okay, but then we do take time. Okay, hey, this is a date night. Hey, this is the time we're going to go do something as a family. You know, those things they have to evolve and change as life happens. We grow, the kids grow. And then we just come together at different times.
Man, I love that. I love that. Look, I wrote down new levels require new rhythms. You can't keep doing the same stuff and expect a different result. Let me say it like this. Y'all know I love that book. You can't put new wine in old bottles. It'll bust it. New levels require new rhythms. Oh, is that our cue to get up out of here? Okay, so listen, man, we getting ready to give y'all 3 steps. You know, we can't leave y'all without the 3 steps. And then we out of here. We get ready to give y'all 3 steps and we out of here. So listen, these are the 3 steps I want you to talk about, right? I mean that I want to give you guys before we get up out of here. So step 1, recognize, right? So talk a little bit about the recognizing, call it what it is, right? They got to call it out, call it what it is. So is it growth? Right. So if it's growth, just call it what it is.
Right.
We're going through a growth spurt. So you got to recognize. Step 2, what they got to do right here, babe. Step 2. Regulate. So like wifey said, you got to calm yourself. So how do they?
Sorry, it takes me back to the song Regulate.
So tell me what they got to do to regulate.
Okay, you can't react. You got to go do whatever it is for yourself, how you regulate. Go do that before you react.
Yes.
So regulate yourself.
Yes. And then number 3, communication, good people. Like wifey just said, communicate where you are. You it's not your partner's job to read your mind. Let them know where you are.
And first of all, they can't read your mind.
That's real talk.
Forget being their job. They just can't do it.
Man, that's real talk. So listen, take those 3 steps. Take those 3 steps, apply them. We want to hear from you. What part of this video hit you? Comment below. Give them the email, babe, so we can hear from you.
The THA marriedlife23@gmail.com.
There it is, man. We want to hear from you. And when you hear this replay, hit us up, right? We like that interaction and that engagement. So I'm going to leave you with this. Listen, you don't need to fix the feeling. You need to communicate through it. That's it.
Yeah.
You ain't broken, so nothing needs to be fixed, good people, right? So listen, you're not drifting apart. You're adjusting to grow. That's all it is. So listen, if this hit you, like I said, go watch part 1, right? Then watch this and then comment. Let us hear from you, right? We want to hear from you. And every Tuesday at 2:30, we drop a brand new episode. So tell us what you want to hear about, and we'll make a video about it. We'll go live about it. Because people, it's 27 years in and counting. We want to help you. Anything else you got to say, babe?
That's all I have.
Look, that's a wrap. Listen, until next week, baby, listen, we want y'all to go out, have a great day, and join us next week, 2:30 p.m. The Married Life Podcast, baby. We out.